Okay, we're back and we've got doors, windows, walls complete. We now need to go ahead and put in a floor placeholder, so to speak. This will help us to start visualizing how this house is coming together from floor to floor. And it gives us a base point to place things like our casework or millwork, our cabinets, our appliances, those kind of things. So that's kind of what we're going to look at here now is going to place the floor. We are not going to place the floor in the garage just yet. We'll come back and do that one a little bit later. But we do need to get kind of a space holder for the majority of the house. And then we're going to put finished floors into place as well. There's a couple ways we can go about doing that. But I think the easiest way is just to get it placed, and then we'll go from there. So when we're doing floors, again, we're going to be in the architectural tab. And as I said, this is just kind of a placeholder. It just gives us an idea of where the floor is going to be as we create it. So we're going to come across all the way over to where it says floor, and we're going to click right there. And again, we save our work because that just seems to be how it's working today. When you open up the floor options, your default's probably going to be an 8-inch porch cap. That means it's 8 inches thick. We don't need to do that residentially. So let's take a look at what we have here for you. So you have your porch cap. You have an 11 7/8 TGI floor structure. You have a floor structure without a sill plate. So the floor structure is one you'd use on like the second floor, whereas the one with the sill plate would be used for the first floor. So there's an extra 1.5 inches in thickness there. You have the same thing for a 14-inch TGI. We have a 4-inch concrete slab, and then you have a finished carpet, finished hardwood, and finished tile. These are to start with your your floor finishes. So we'll make these each as we go through there. We are going to use right now the 11 7/8 TJI floor structure with the sill plate. So that's the first one here, not the without. I want this one right here has a full thickness. Now, this is probably the easiest thing we're going to do all the process of making this house is when we go about creating this floor, and we're in the creative boundary, you can select by drawing lines or rectangles or polygons. You can do arcs. You can do ellipses. You can pick lines, or you can just pick the walls. We are going to pick walls because that is the fastest and easiest way to do this. And before we do that, we need to check settings. So we go over here to our properties box, and we see that this floor is being placed 8 inches below the finished floor. We don't want that. We want this to be 0. This is 0 layer. So everything builds up or below this floor line. So we set that to 0, and then make sure your gray box is over here on pick walls, and we'll just start picking walls. And as we go about picking walls, you're going to see a magenta line go on the inside of your sheathing or the outside edge of your stud, your 2x6 stud. So we're going to just pick these walls all the way around the perimeter of our house proper, again, not including the garage. So we just kind of keep going around there. It automatically knows what to do and how to do it. So you don't even have to really think, you just have to click. Now here we then go up around the garage and over. And we're just following along inside here. And then we're going to go up this side. And we're going to go around the bay window. Now, I usually will do one of two things. The bay window can have a foundation under it, or it could just be what's called a cantilever. It just kind of hangs out off the side. And we'll talk about that when we do framing. All right, so that is our perimeter. Now I just need to make sure that it is closed. And to do that, we hit the green check mark. And it says, lines must be closed. And it's not. And it's going to say, but I'm going to show you where you're at. So here's these 2 orange dots. There's a problem there. So we hit continue. And we zoom down there. And we find that I did not select that wall. So we select the wall, make sure they connect, and we try again. The nice thing about this is it's going to prompt you where you need to go and how to fix. And this is what we want as an end result, is this shaded area showing that this area now has a floor. Congratulations. That was spectacularly well done. So let's see what we've done in 3D. So we go to 3D tab. And we're going to back up here and then angle this just slightly. Can I get that to kick in here a little bit? And there is your space holder. So it's the proper thickness for your subfloor, which is usually plywood, then your TGI, and then your mud seal on that. So that is the thickness there. It's up almost, well, let's find out exactly how thick that is. So we want to select that, and we go to Edit Type. And we will find that the thickness of this entire thing is 1 foot 2 1/8, which is the proper thickness it should be. If you want to see how that's made up, let's take a look at the structure. And so you have a 3/4 inch subfloor. This is your plywood decking. That can be as much as 5/8. Well, 5/8 or 3/4 is the most common. You can actually get hardwood raw and put there. It's much, much more expensive to do it that way. But 3/4 is usually your thickest. 5/8 is pretty common. 1/2 inch, I wouldn't recommend. It's a little bouncy and doesn't have the same strength. And then you have your air barrier, which in this case is 1 inch, 1 foot 1 3/8 inch. So what that is, that's an 11 7/8 TGI plus the thickness of the sill plate. And that's just an air barrier. Okay, now we could go through and make this exactly what we want it to be, but it kind of gets in the way of the framing. So that's why this is air, and we'll show you that as we go. So we hit OK, and we hit apply and OK again. And I'm going to tilt now the house in 3D mode. And when I click off this shaded area, typically it will show as wood. In this case, it's not. So we're going to find out why. So we go back in, go back into our top here. Ooh, that's the wall. We got the wrong thing. So I went with the wall. I want the floor. And we look back there again. And if we look at our category, there's no category here for the substrate. So we're going to click on that and go to the materials library. It's a little different than your components. So we go into here and we want plywood. So I'm just going to type the word plywood. And there's plywood with plywood sheathing. This can be your substrate for your floor or on your walls, your plywood that goes next to the walls. So select there. There's our wood grain. We hit OK, and we hit OK, apply, and OK, and voila. Now we have a plywood deck to build all of our house on. So that is a huge undertaking and one that we are grateful that we have done. And now we can start moving into some of the more detailed things. So I'm going to go back to the plan view, and we're going to focus here in the kitchen for a little bit. Now, I didn't put openings in the wall because I need to lay out the kitchen first. Now, there's 2 ways this can happen. You could have your finished floor and put it down now and then just build your cabinets on top of it, which is allowed and done. Or you can put the cabinets in and then the finished floor gets built up to the cabinets. Both are acceptable and both are correct. It just depends on which way you want to go with it. Now, when I create these, typically I like to think that I've got a little bit of control over everything. It really depends on the installation. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and create the finished floor for the kitchen and the family room and the dining room. Now, I would like to have my kitchen and dining room. I'm probably going to do these in a wood flooring. Now, as you go through and look at materials, you can do wood flooring that's actually tile, so it just has the look of wood, or you can actually do composite floors or veneers. There's 100 different ways of doing these floors. I just want the look of wood. That's really all I want. And in order to do that, I need to have an image of the wood flooring that I want to use. So we are going to open up the internet for a moment here. And then I go to wood floor. So just type in wood flooring. And we go to images. Now, these are all the different colors and styles, and all these things can happen. And what you want is these that are showing like in perspective or angles are not good. You want a straight-on copy of looking straight down. So like this here would be fine. This would be great. This is great. No, no, no. Any of these sample pieces. I'm going to do a gray barn force. I'm going to select this one right here. Looks good enough. I want the large picture. This is from Lowe's. And when you get the picture here, what you want to try and do is do a right click, save image as, and it needs to say JPEG here. If it says anything else, it can't do it. And I'm going to give it a name because numbers are hard to remember what they are. So this is a gray wood floor, and I'm going to use it for the kitchen. So I put that information in the name so I know what I'm doing. I don't want to lose it. So we put that in there and call it good. Now I'm going to go back to the plan, and we're going to create our floor. Now I'm going to put that gray wood floors and go inside the pantry here as well, and in this whole area. And then I probably will, I don't know how I'm going to do this. If I'm going to take it out through the entryway and all through there, I might go switch to tile. So we'll see what we do there. I haven't decided yet. All right, so now I'm going to go back to floor. So architecture, floor. Because I'm doing wood, I'm going to go into my template here. I'm going to come down to hardwood. I'm going to select that one right there. Edit type and duplicate. And I'm going to take out the 2. And this will be gray. And you can spell it G-R-E-Y or G-R-A-Y, your choice. And then I put kitchen so I know what room it goes in. So I know the color and I know the room. It just makes it easier to keep track of it. So hit OK. Now this floor is 1 inch thick. So when I do wood floors, I like them to be more solid than composite. So 1 inch is usually about where you want them. There's actually a little bit of padding that goes underneath them as well. So it's approximation to where you want to be. So hit edit type, and here's my wood flooring. Now the one that's in there now looks like this. It's just beech wood. Okay. I want to use my gray that I just downloaded. So once I get into here, I can create a material. And the create material area is this gray sphere with a blue plus on it. I hit that little down arrow and I want to create new material. It starts up by saying default new material. You're going to right click, rename it. This is going to be wood, gray, and I'm going to put kitchen so I know where it goes. Okay. Then I have to enter that in to lock the name down. Then I can come over here to the identity pad page and I can have a description. So this is weathered gray wood. The class is not generic. We're going to switch that to wood. So now it has the right symbols. And that's where I can then put in where I'm buying it from, the cost, the square footage cost, and all that. That would go here. I'm going to go to graphics. This is where we get to start putting color in. I'm going to leave this alone for right now and go to appearance. And right now it's 80-80-80, which is gray. I need to put my picture in there. So the image is empty. Where it says no image selected, that's a hyperlink. So I select that. And now I gotta go find where I've saved it. So I go back to my files and where I saved the image. And I gotta do a little roundabout here. Here. Nope, I don't think it was that one. I think it was here. And I am not seeing a JPEG. Now, that's a bad sign, okay? So it's a good thing this came up because you need to be aware of this. They're starting to encrypt the images on the internet, so you can't do what we're doing. If I go and open up my Explorer and I go to my area where this is supposed to be saved, and I have to go to the right location here, which I thought it was in. Let's see. OneDrive, desktop. And I come down here, my interior design folder, and I'm looking for, so here's my file for my project. Here is the backups. There's 3 of them now. My image isn't here. So that means I've saved it somewhere else, and I've not kept track of that. So I'm going to go back to my internet, and then do the save as again. Oops. Then do the save image as. And it is in my student disclosures on my OneDrive. Oh, I didn't pay attention. So we got to go and put that to the right spot. And have to clean that up. My bad. So go here, here. I'm doing it again. Gray wood kitchen. And save it down again. Now, when I come back, there's my file. So that's good. There's my file, even better. And I hit open, and now it's part of my image. Okay, now this is a small sampling, okay? Each of these planks, I'm going to double click on this here. So once you get loaded, double click, and you get a little thumbnail of it that is 1 foot by 1 foot. Each of these changes in line, where these lines are supposed to be about 4 inches. So if you go across and try and count those, we're kind of a little off. So I'm going to come down now to scale, and I'm going to change this to 48 inches. And this way, in case you have to put them in as inches, not feet. And then I've got a little bit better cut through of it. So I'm just going to hit done. Now this is going to tile it. Your options of tile or none. Tile it. You'll see what it does. Once you get a little more savvy, you can start creating better seams. But when you hit done here, we hit apply here. So now we have the material. So we hit OK. That's changed. So now we can lay this floor. So we hit OK. So everything's kind of coming together now. Apply and OK. Now it wants us to create the space. All right. Now I can still pick walls, which is great. There's a little bit different things though. So the floor goes to the inside of the stud. So underneath the gypsum board into the stud. And then you just pick a line, and I want, oh my goodness, it's not going to make me be this nice, is it? It's going to do that to me. So I want to pick a line, but it's not picking the line I want to pick. So we'll then do floor again. And the floor should do the right line, that little blue line. So I'm going to click there. It's going to go around the pantry. Now these lines are on the outside. We'll come back and fix those in a minute. And we'll then come to this wall eventually, across here, up and around all the bay window. So this is kind of a real quick get things selected fast because there's going to be some editing to do. And knowing that it's going to be there, all good. And up and across here. Okay, lots of editing. Okay, I've got this going all the way under here, so I'm going to flip that down. Then pick this wall here. And now I can go through and start editing that profile set. So knowing what room you're doing is super important. So I'm starting at this corner, making sure I'm on the right lines, making sure there's not any gaps. I come down, it's going around, following that line over. Now here's where the first fix is. So I'm going to go into my modify, use this corner trim tool, and I want to turn the corner here so I'm not going down into the laundry room. Coming up here, I have to do modify because this line is in the wrong spot, so I want to flip it over. Then corner. I'm going to close that off, so that's turn the corner there. Coming up here. This one gets a little tricky. So it's already kind of on the right gypsum board. So I'm going to go here. That's going to take it out of this side. And now I got to do some work. So I can do, pick a line, hopefully. And it's not letting me pick the right line. So I'm going to do a draw. I'm going to draw a line from here. Oh my goodness, this thing's going to be really sneaky. From that corner. And I'll go up and over and down and all the way over. So I'm tracing off the back side of the gypsum board to get this line in right. Okay. Now I got to go back here, do the corner tool again. So it's coming around and there, and then this goes here. Now this isn't quite lined up right, so I'm going to use the align tool and put it where it goes, and then follow this up and around, and it's back to corner. And we've got this extra line over here, so I need to take that out because it's wanting to include that in the mix. Back to select a line, and I have to draw it. It's just going to be a little stubborn tonight. So I go here, 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 back up. Okay, now if I look, this is going to come all the way around. So I've got to do a little slice here, and then a corner. So this comes down, and this one comes down, and this one comes over. All right, now that should come up and around, and we should have that room. So we'll check it. Oh, it says, nope, you don't have it right yet, buddy. Keep going. So I come down here, and I am missing this corner here. So corner tool, close that off, come back around. We'll check it again. And it says, say, hey, your floors overlap. And while it's selected, I'm going to come over here. Now remember, my thickness of my floor is 1 inch. So I had set everything to be at 0. I need to raise this floor up 1 inch above the space holder. So now it's just blue. It's not blended in. So as long as you don't close out, you can select this pretty easily. But there's the floor for the kitchen. And oh no, I included the family room, which is fine. You can definitely have wood flooring in your family room, but I want a carpet. Okay, so let's take a look at what I've done. We'll go back to 3D. And we can see that there's my wood floor. There's the texture pattern. So it has that wood flooring in, but it does go up in here into the family room. All right, so I'll go back to this floor here. I need to edit that. I can't edit it unless I select it. I can't select it because it's underneath the wall. So if that's the case, you have to go into the 3D view, put your cursor where the wall and the floor meet, and then select so you get just that floor. If it's selected in 3D, then you can go back to the floor. It's selected here, and then you're going to edit the boundary. And I'm just going to do a corner tool to fix this. I'm going to take this line and go all the way across to here and close that off. But if I do that, I've got to go back in and make sure I get these other lines deleted out that go around the family portion. So I just want that line to come across and down. And I say yes. And that's my kitchen area with my flooring. So that's all I wanted to be in there, is just that. And then I'm going to put in some carpet. And for the time, I'm going to put carpet is going to be the same in the bedroom, the family room, and the living room. And the library are all going to get the same carpet. But I'm going to put the same wood flooring in the dining room. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in now. So that's one. So now I'm going to come down here and place that same floor. So go floor. There's my kitchen gray. Go ahead and do my wall. Start selecting the 4 walls only once. So if we got 2 pieces of wall, don't do 2 pieces. You want these to be all as simple line as you can. So if a room has 4 walls, it has 4 lines. Once to there, make sure they connect. And then make sure I raise it up before I finish it. 1 inch, thickness of the floor. And hit OK. And there's my outline. So I'm happy with that. I check my 3D world, tilt the world a little bit. There's my 2 floors. So yay, I'm very, very happy with that. And we'll keep going along here. All right, so we're going to go back to the main floor now. And we're going to do the carpeted areas. So here's my carpets. So I'm going to do the family room, the living room, the master bedroom, and that's going to come down probably down to where the closet line is here. The library and the library. That's all that's going to be carpeted. So I go back to my internet, and I'm going to do a slate blue carpet. And to find one that I like, that I want to use, and again, angles are no good. They've got to be straight on shots. Find a color that works for you, that you like, or a texture that you like. This one's kind of feeling kind of cool. So I kind of like this one. So I'm going to right click and then do a save image as. And this time it's there, but notice it's a WEBP file. This will not work. It has to be a JPEG, or it has to be a bitmap. So I'm going to cancel that and then go to another carpet and see if I can get a more unique look to it. Save image as. This is an AVIF. Encrypted won't work. Ooh. So now I got to get really tricky and see if maybe this one will work from Walmart. And save image as. And this is a JPEG. So this will work. It's going to be my slate blue. And since in multiple rooms, I'm just going to call it slate blue carpet and hit save. Okay, now that we have that, we then go back to our plan and we're going to put this flooring in. Okay, now again, I'm going to go architecture floor to get to my right area. I'm not using hardwood anymore, so now I'm going to switch down to carpet, then edit. This one's also an inch thick, which is a little off. It's actually going to change that. So I'm going to do edit, and this is going to be 5/8. So 5/8. So a little thinner, but that's fine. And then when they go into the carpet material, and we're going to make a new carpet. So go in here, there's carpet. I'm going to come down to create new material, right click, rename, start with carpet. And in this case, it's going to be slate blue. And because the multiple rooms, I'm going to put the rooms down. Just going to put it like that. Hit enter to save the name. No image selected. Hit that hyperlink. Grab the carpet option. Put that in. Double click to see how that's looking. Then I'd probably change the size on this scale a little bit on this. Let's see. Come down to scale. I'm going to do this one 60 inches by 60 inches. I guess I could do 72, 6 by 6. Carpet rolls, just so you know, when you buy carpet, they come in a roll that's 20 feet wide. If you can size all your rooms to be 20 feet wide, you'll never have seams. As nice as that would be, it doesn't always work, but can try if we want. So I applied that, hit OK, hit OK, hit apply, hit OK. That's the bad thing. I need to go in and rename that. So I need to duplicate, carpet 2, slate blue. I should have done this before, but I didn't. So now we've got slate blue carpet. All right, now let's start here in the family room. I'm going to just do a rectangle this time rather than walls. I'm going to scroll right up into here and grab that little corner right underneath the gypsum board. I have to come back and fix that because I missed it. Bring that all the way down to this corner underneath the gypsum board. Change my height to 5/8. That's 0.625 decimal wise. And I'm going to go back and fix that line that I missed. So here I missed it by that much. So I'm going to use the align tool. And I have to just drag it because it's not quite. There we go. Just so it's there. I mean, if it's a little bit under, it's not going to be a big deal. But this way, I know it's right where I want it to be. Save our work again. And we have that. So we're good. And we'll go check it in 3D because it's just kind of fun to see things starting to change. So there's that carpet. Well, good. Now I'm going to go back and put the other carpets in and get those in place. So I've got 2 more rooms to do with that. So we're going to go floor. Everything's there. The nice thing about the rooms like these that are squarish is I can just use this rectangle tool and very, very quickly put those carpets in. Excuse me. Get down there and get really close and perfectly lined up. Now, I can't do the other 2 rooms, except that's not the room I wanted to do, was it? I wanted to do the library, not that. So we're going to do this. Good practice. You can always delete and start over and repeat and do again and all that good stuff. Okay, so I get that in play. I cannot do the bedroom at this time. You have to have them as one shape, and so I'll have to do another layout here. I'm just going to take the line tool, and I'm just going to go up and trace really quick around this closet so the carpet goes into the closet. Now, you could put another flooring down there. It's not uncommon to see a carpet have a different flooring material or a bedroom to have a different flooring material in the closet. It could be a tile, it could be a vinyl, it could be wood. It could be anything you want, really. So it just depends. So now I can complete that. And I'm going to do a little fix here and get this line to the right spot. Okay, now, so the flooding of the floor is going to come in and go through here, but I got a line, so I need to split that. Then corner tool. Keep my lines nice and controlled. And make sure I got them both. All right, so now this is all one area, so we check that. Good to go. Up here, we're going to do the next. All right, now I've reached a dilemma. I need to put the openings for those garages. Sorry, not garages, they're closets. They're about the size of a small garage. All right, we're going to put the opening in next. There is an opening tool built into Revit, and it's done the door. So we go architecture, door, edit type, and then go load. Now we're already in the residential because that's the last time we're in the library. And then back up one fold. And here's a door opening. And all it is an opening. Okay, so it is like a door. That's all it is. It just makes an opening as if there's going to be a door there, but there's not. It's just the opening. So I'm going to open that. And this is a 2.6 by 6.8 door opening. Okay, well, that's good. I want these a little bit wider. So I'm going to duplicate that. And instead of being 30 inches wide, I'm going to do 48. So I'm going to take the 2 off again because that means copy. And I'll change this to 4 feet. And hit apply and OK. Now this opening then I can just treat like a door. I can just come in and I can put one there, put one there. So there's the opening. We'll look at that in just a minute. Okay, so now I'm ready to put my carpet into this space. This one's going to be a little bit of a difference. So I'm going to go architecture floor. Missed it by that much. There's my blue carpet. I'm going to use walls on this one again, just because it's going to go a little faster. At least get the majority of the beginning walls. So I want to get the bulk of it as quick as possible. And it's going to come here. So now I'm going to corner everything off. And I've got to move some walls. So this wall needs flipped to the inside. And that one didn't quite happen. So I'll put that in. Okay, now we're going to corner those together. Use the corner tool. Make sure everything's the way it should be. So from here to here. This comes down. This is going to go all the way over to here. So we're going to cut the line right here. Bring these together. All right, so that's the perimeter. Now I'm going to have to end up probably, we can try walls again. I want this wall and this wall and this wall, this wall, this wall. And I'll start over here and I'm going to go around the outside. So this is going to flip over and I need a slice right there. So I'm going to slice it. I really want to be kind of intentional with this. So it's going to come around, go down. Okay, then there'd be another line. I have to draw this in. So I'm drawing to there. Up. It's because we can't go underneath the wall. We can go over under the gypboard, but not the wall. Okay, we'll corner trim that. And we need a slice here and corner. And so that's going to come up that way. This is coming down here. Now I'm going to do my line and trace in the lines I'm missing. And if you miss something, it will let you know. It'll yell at you. So go across here. Look back to corner, make sure everything's closed off. Okay, and then make sure this one's closed off on this side. Same way. So we're going to take the line. And I find a lot of times it's easier just to trace than to go through all the picking the lines, but whichever one works for you. So you should do what works. And this is coming all the way down here. And then back to home. And back up to here and across. All right, now we're going to do a split. Corners. And make sure everything's all clean and flowing the way it should. The corners are clear. Edges are where they're supposed to be. And this is problematic here, I think. I need another line, so I need to bring a line across. And it's going to come over here. Then back to corner. All right, so what you're looking at is it goes around, down, in. Just make sure it's flooding the way it should. And I need a line now, dang it. Because it's not always do what you tell it to do. So you have to get in there and force it. Corner tool here. There, like that. And so let's see if we did that one right. And we want it to be yes. And that's good. So, yeah, let's go look 3D. And there's my carpet. So things are looking good. Back to 2D. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. I need to get some moisture in my mouth. So we've done carpet. We've done wood flooring. I think I've got everything in there. We'll come back and check. We might have to add another room in. I may have missed one. And we'll start putting in tile for the areas that we have not done yet. Okay, so that's where I'll come back to. So hang tight. We'll be right there. You should be able to get all your carpet and hardwood in at this point.